So these require a lot of maintenance. It's a threat to the
Shoulder, arm.
First sergeant, take place, position. All right, what we're going to do is we're just going to take them over. You can follow us, please. Please follow. And we're going to take them sort of in the back and then face in that direction and fire the weapons. But before we do that, we're going to show you loading. Okay? And we'll go through all 9 steps you have to go through each and every time. We're going to take you through the first 6. So the first one's going to be load. Goes between the feet. Handle cartridge is going to pull out a paper cartridge filled with about 65 grains of black powder. Okay. Tear cartridge. You need to have 2 opposing teeth in order to do this. Port cartridge. Powder goes down. Vibrate!
Right.
Now, the powder goes down. Now you have to use your imagination here. You're going to have the conical bullet right up here. Okay, it's lead. It's very soft. So they need to ram it down. So what they're going to do is draw a rammer. And they're going to ram cartridge. Get it down there with the powder. And they have to make sure to turn ram. Because you need that each and every single time. Now, obviously if somebody's trying to kill you, you might miss a step. And you might leave the rammer in there. And in fact, when you go to Civil War reenactments, you're banned from using your ramrod during battle because, you might have, if somebody got clumsy and you're facing a missile. Right. Now, the next step is going to be prime. I'm going to have our sergeant step out for a minute. Get a little closer. I'm going to turn to the left. Okay, now what he's doing is he's putting a fulminated cap onto a cone, which is right underneath the hammer. Now that cone actually has a hole drilled into it. So this way when the hammer strikes it, it's currently at a half-cock position. Okay, you would draw this to full cock and then they're all at the shoulder, which tells the officers that they are ready. So please bear in mind, we just have 5 minutes here. Now if you have, for example, a lot of guys can afford to have, you would have 2 ranks, front rank and rear rank. But right now we're just going to stick with the single rank. Now you can follow us, please do. All right, we're going to have someone call cadence. Company, 1 rank, right face. Company, 5 files, right, march. Cadence.
Left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left.
5 files left,
Left.
march.
Left, left, right, left, left, left,
Halt.
left.
Front. Okay. Right. Yeah, sorry, we have you guys in the sun. You can come a little bit closer if you want. We're not gonna fire rights just yet. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wheel them out and we're gonna have them fire. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm gonna have. And just what we're going to do is when we have one of the fire rings, we're going to have a rear rank so you can see it. But what we're going to do right now, and we'll just ask you just to back up just a little. Company, in 1 rank, right face. Company, counter march by files, left, march.
Left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left.
Front. We're all loaded. It is loud. So I'm going to give you all fair warning. We don't have any dogs around, do we? Okay. And if you want to get in the shade over here, that's fine too. Yeah, I know we kind of have the sun in your eyes. Right. Now, the last two commands of the 9 are all that you know. Anyone want to take a guess what they are?
Ready.
Yeah, ready? Aim. Fire. Fire, right, okay. Company, ready. Aim. Fire. Recover. Load. That actually came out really well. That was firing by company. You could be firing by a battalion. This means we're all doing it in unison, which is great. It looks fantastic. Problem though, okay, everyone's firing at once. It takes 20 seconds to load the fire, so you kind of open. So this way they came up with ways of firing which kept the heat up constantly. So you want to get as much lead at the enemy as possible. What we're going to do next is called firing by fire. I compare it to the wave when you have it in the stadium. Starts off on this end, load and fire, load and fire, load and fire. By the time you get to the end, the other end has already reloaded and is firing again. So you have a constant stream of fire. Company, get ready. Firing by files. Fire. Excellent. Recover. Load. They all went off. Okay, we did very well. These are prone to misfire, unfortunately. Black powder is a temperamental chemical, and if it does misfire, we have ways of dealing with it. We just put an extra cap on it. Perhaps we just dump the powder. We actually have someone, well, today in the hobby, we always have someone handy, the ordnance sergeant, to help out somebody in case they're having an issue with their weapons. But there have been occasions, certainly during the Civil War, where it's so loud when you're loading and firing, they might have a misfire and they keep loading powder down that barrel. And at that, you're actually holding a bomb. So you have to be very, very careful that these go off. Otherwise, you can cause serious injury. Company. Company, count off. 1, 2, 1, 2,
1.
Actually, 1. Okay, count. 1, 2.
1, 2.
Company. Right face. Company. 2 ranks, front. Right dress. Rear rank. Watch your distance. Okay, now this is a more fair cross-section of what it's going to look, because you're going to have 2 ranks. The rear rank has to be very careful about their position in the back to make sure they fire between the heads of the file mates in the front without causing any injury. Company. Firing by company. Ready. Aim. Elevate. Fire. Recover. Shoulder off. Company. Prime. Okay, what we're doing now is we are priming these weapons. Now this is a safety feature that we have in our hobby. Every time we load and fire, we always make sure that the barrels are clear. So we fire off a couple of caps just to make sure that there's nothing down there. Company. Ready. Aim. Step over. Fire. Prime. I like to do 2, just to make sure. Actually, our safety record in Civil War reenacting is actually quite excellent. We don't have any really injuries when it comes to weapons. It actually comes from what we're wearing. So, what do you think is our biggest enemy? It's the heat. Yes, a lot of our injuries are from heat or exertion. Good. Company. Ready. And fire. Shoulder arms. Shoulder arms. Okay. Sensation. Oh. What we're going to do now is we're going to bring you back into the shade, and we're going to show you one other item which is an accessory to these muskets. I'm going to leave you in bated breath about what that is. You can probably guess what it is. Company, we're moving. Company, tools. Rifles.
Left. 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 Right. Left.
Come follow us.
Left. Right. Left.
I just have a quick question. Everyone, just around. How did you all know about this?
Facebook.
Facebook. Okay, was it Bayside Historical Society?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right, yeah, they really do a good job advertising these events. All right. And we would like to thank our patrons, on video for. All right. Company. Attention. Company, fix bayonets. Okay, now you've all seen bayonets on weapons. Now, bayonets have been around for centuries. However, the range of weapons got to such a point that, well, frankly, they weren't very useful because you just didn't get close enough to use them. Instead, okay, these became really all-purpose tools in camp. It became a digging implement. It became a nightlight. You just stick it in the ground. You just put a candle on it. Or unfortunate chicken, rotisserie right here. Now, these bayonets are not sharp on the sides. They're actually quite blunt. It's just the tip. The tip is all you need. Now, the tip, once it enters the flesh, it creates a triangular shaped wound. Now look, it's bad enough getting stabbed, but triangular shape, even today, is almost impossible to suture. And you have to remember the Civil War was the 1860s. It wasn't until just afterward there was a huge leap forward with germ theory. They knew about microorganisms. They knew about disease. They didn't realize the microorganisms caused the disease. So nothing was sterilized. 2/3 of the deaths in the Civil War were not from the bullets. It was from disease. It was germs. So actually those bayonets, that triangular shaped profiled bayonets, those were all banned by the Geneva Convention. During the Civil War, it was very rare for people to get that close to each other in order to use them, but it did happen on occasion. When they did get very close, and I'll just take the first sergeant's musket, say at the high water mark at Gettysburg, where it was really just a riot, it was a melee, it's much more useful just to use this as sort of like a baseball bat. This is solid wood. I mean, you could really bean someone in the head with this. But they are an excellent instrument for intimidation. Anybody here the 20th Maine? No? Oh, yeah, very good. Okay. During the Battle of Gettysburg, 20th Maine was one regiment. Their job was to secure the extreme left end of the line. And they were on a hill called Little Round Top. They had to keep it because if the Confederates grabbed that hill, they could have rolled up the entire Union line. So, the 20th Maine was loading and firing down the hill. The Confederates kept coming. But the Confederates kept coming to the point they exhausted all their ammunition. Now there is ammunition in the back, but that takes time. So what do? There's another wave that's coming. Colonel Joshua Chamberlain, who became a future governor of Maine, he gave the command to fix bayonets. Company, shoulder arms. And then he gave the command to charge bayonets. Ah! And he ran down the hill. And believe me, the Confederates, they got out of the way. Shoulder arms. Shoulder arms. Unfixed bayonets. Remember I was telling you it takes 20 seconds to load and fire these weapons. Now, imagine if the colonel's smart enough, waits for the Confederates to fire the weapons. There's a little bit of a time lag right there. That's the time to send the guys down before they load and fire back. Now, what we're going to do now is I'm going to have the first sergeant take over. He'll dismiss the men. We know you have lots of questions, but please follow us back into our camp and ask anything you'd like. And I want to thank you all, for coming out and certainly supporting our hobby. We have plenty of material on our front desk. We have business cards and we have flyers. We do a lot of local events. So if this kind of thing interests you, you can see us again. We do them in Long Island, Queens. Sometimes we're in the city, and we do go on the road. Like Gettysburg, Antietam, and such.
But we don't walk there.
We don't walk. No, we don't march there.
Take the horse.
All right, First Sergeant, if you would take over.
Company, shoulder, arm. Standing work today, gentlemen. President Fowl. Company dismissed.
Arg!